Hello everyone. When I was told that I had to discuss Maggid, my initial reaction was, oh Maggid, what am I going to tell you? The first thing you should know is that Maggid means to tell. It comes from the same root as the word Haggadah. One of the main mitzvahs on the Seder night is to retell the story of the Exodus. Maggid may not be the most fun part of the Seder, but with a little bit of preparation and the help of some props, it can be very meaningful. Near the beginning of Maggid, we have the 4 questions, which really is one question with 4 parts. The question is, why is this night different than other nights? It's also contradictory in that we discuss our bondage and we also display our freedom. The answer is we make it different and contradictory in order to awaken the children's interest. This way they will ask questions and will be engaged in the storytelling process. You are really only interested in an answer if you are bothered by a question. What does one do if he or she doesn't have any children? Ask yourselves. Next, we answer the question. The answer is that we were slaves and God took us out of Egypt. It is important to try to start the Seder on time so that the kids don't go to sleep right after the question, but rather they can stay up and hear the answer as well. Next, we mention the 4 sons. Rav Hirsch says that on the Seder night, the night of the birth of our nation, we are careful to protect our national continuity by passing our legacy on to our children, especially as a direct response to Paro's evil plan to murder our children. The wise son asks about our traditions. Our answer to the wise son is that one can't eat anything after the Pesach offering. Why of all the laws is this the most important one to teach him? One answer is that we want the taste of matzah and the Pesach experience to remain in his mouth forever. Why do we blunt the teeth of the wicked son? One answer is that teeth aren't just for enjoying life, rather they should be used in the service of God. The Vilna Gaon says that if you remove the teeth, which has the numerical value of 366, from the evil son, which has the numerical value of 570, you are left with a righteous person, which has the numerical value of 204. Next, we mention the 10 plagues. We pour out some wine with the mention of each plague in order to diminish our joy and not to appear that we are rejoicing over our enemy's downfall. Some people dip their pointer finger into their cup, others their pinky. I really like wine and I don't want to waste it, so I actually use my tongue. I'm just kidding. How long did each plague last for? Rashi says that there were 3 weeks of warning followed by a week-long plague. It is interesting to note that the second plague might not actually be frogs. Ibn Ezra maintains it was a type of fish. Others say it was crocodiles. The 4th plague, known as wild animals, might not actually have been wild animals. Rashbam says it was actually a pack of wolves. An opinion quoted in the Midrash Tanchuma says it was a swarm of hornets and other insects. Which plague do you think was the worst? Rashi says the death of the firstborn. I don't have any props for that one. While Ibn Ezra says the plague of hail was the worst because it killed people and animals and severely damaged property. Next we recite Dayenu, which has become one of the more famous parts of Maggid, although it's interesting to note that Maimonides did not include Dayenu at all in his Haggadah. Why would it be enough if we had come close to Mount Sinai but not received the Torah? Some say because we would have learned the trait of humility from Mount Sinai, which is a very important trait. We conclude with half of the Hallel, with the other half being recited at the end of the Seder, because the first half deals with God delivering us from the Egyptians, and the second half looks ahead to Mashiach, which is the theme at the end of the Seder. I want to wish everyone a happy Pesach. Up next is my Maggid friend, Rabbanit Bracha Jaffe.